Welcome in, beautiful souls. Okay, so I received this message this morning to come and sit here and do this reading. So they wanted me to throw my astrology dice here. So we have the moon, we have Aries, and the third house. The third house is all about communication. Aries is all about being passionate and a strong leader. It also, because it's the first zodiac, it's also rules the first house too. And the first house is all about identity. And then the moon has a lot to do with intuition, your subconscious, has a lot to do with cycles. So I think you might be somebody that is discovering who you are, or your gifts are expanding of some sort. And I even had this deck here and I split it, and it split on Aries. It also split on Libra. Yeah. So where it's split on Libra, you know, Libra is all about beauty and love. So I think that maybe you're some kind of leader, or you're going to be a leader of some sort, because you are ruled by love. And then I was shuffling this deck here, and it came out on the Nine of Swords. And I know the Nine of Swords in the regular deck is, you know, the person sitting on the bed with, you know, being up all night, all upset and all that. But for me here, this deck here, I just read the pictures. I don't usually go so much by, you know, what, you know, this is like. So the Nine of Swords also represents, you know, something coming to an end. And then where I split it on the Knight of Wands, and you see how the shadow here, this is about, the Knight of Wands is the one that has a lot to do with fast energy. And, you know, I think this has a lot to do with like the shadow work that you've been doing. I think that maybe you're coming to the end of your shadow work, and you're discovering, you know, who you are and what you're capable of doing, and maybe learning more about your gifts or something. The Eight of Cups, yeah, that's mastering. Yeah, Spirit. You know, it's about removing like that stuck energy, right? Because, you know, when you're doing with your shadow work, you know, the Eight of Cups in the regular deck is where the woman is like walking away, or the guy is walking away, and like the cups are all like there, and then they're just walking away. So it's like releasing something. So I think where it came out with the here with the shadow, I think that you're releasing, like you're starting to release this the shadow work, like you're coming out of it. Okay. Yeah. It doesn't mean that the challenge ahead won't be hard, though, because it still could be, right? It's on the Ace of Swords here. Okay, well, I'm going to set these aside for later, but they wanted me to start with this deck here with the dragons. So let's see what, well, that was fast. Yeah, transformation. Look at that. You're transforming here. And then they had me bring out my own deck here. So let's, this card doesn't want to, what is this? Trying to get your attention. That could be like with the communication. This could be like guides or something trying to get your attention. Because the third house is all about communication, right? Let me just split this up. Is this enough? Okay, I have to do it in little batches here. I don't know exactly what they want. Okay, so let's move this aside. So trying to get your attention. What do you want to go with this here? Good mojo. Yeah. Whoa, what's this? It's time. Oh, okay. They want me to do it like this. Trying to get your attention. Good mojo. So what do you want under trying to get your attention? What is this? achievement. What else do you want here? No more hiding my abilities. You're either a healer, a psychic, earth angel, seer, sage, shaman, channeler, white or green witch, or warlock. Like I said in the very beginning, you're going to be a leader because you lead with your heart. Not everything is what it seems. Oh, not those. Okay. Is there more here? Yeah, I believe in miracles. Yeah. Okay, what do you want for under good mojo? No more hiding your abilities. Yeah, I see where that cat was, you know, showing that shadow. Okay. Yeah, I discovered my worth through the hell of suffering. Yeah. That's, yeah, you're coming out of the shadow. Okay, let's see what else is here. Divine wisdom that resides within you. Work or working with crystals. They have nothing left to say in this deck. Thank you, Spirit. That's funny. Okay, so working with crystals. This might have something to do with like the rock people. Working with the crystals and transformation. You see how this dragon has like butterfly leaves here? Or leaves, that's weird. Butterfly wings. Reminds me of the, what is it, that monarch butterfly? Apparently they're very rare now. I guess they're like going extinct or something, which is quite sad. I don't know how true it is. I haven't seen one in my area in a long time. Used to get them a lot, especially when I was a kid, but I very rarely see them. I want to make sure that it was recording because, you know, camera's been acting weird. All right, so what do you want to begin here? Where do you want to go? Okay, trying to get your attention. Let's see what they want you to know, what they're trying to get your attention about. Strength, balance, prepared, tranquil. Yeah, you're prepared now. You've balanced your energy. You've graduated. Look at the diploma here. You've graduated. You've done your healing. And look, there's a clock, which is time. You're now connecting to the Holy Spirit because of the love, like I said. And there's the angel wing. There's money and a diploma. Have confidence. The bottom is divine magic. Wishes, goals, dreams, accomplishments. Okay, I'm going to leave that up. Okay, let's see here. Your desires are within reach, but it's in reverse. There's disbelief, stubbornness, apathy, and anxiety. That's why they're trying to get your attention. Because you've reached some kind of achievement here, but there's still a little bit of anxiety or maybe some disbelief that's going on here. And this is in reverse too, which is renewed connections. Isolated, estranged, separation, grudge. Yeah, you're still isolated here. But that's why they're saying no more hiding your abilities. You've been estranged and separated and isolated long enough. Having confidence, yeah, because right over here is about having like a disbelief. Not everything is what it seems. You're holding back for some reason. Let's see. This one. Okay. Willpower's on the bottom. Okay, so what do you want? I think that's what it is. They want you to believe in miracles. Because you've reached some kind of achievement here. Because if you've come through, you're almost at the end of your shadow, or you are at the end of your shadow work. What do you want under this one here? And what about this one here? The time. The time has come. Not everything as it seems. Yeah, that's why the moon came out, because it has, protection. You're being completely protected here. Whatever is, see here. Yeah, new beginnings, look. You're still grieving? See this butterfly, though? Oh, maybe because you're still doing a little bit, you still have a little bit of releasing to do. But, I mean, that's okay, because, it takes, psychic abilities. Look at that. See? Not everything is what it seems. You have it's time. You have the strength, the balance, prepared, tranquil. I don't know why you don't feel that you're ready. There's a lot of good things that they want to bring in here. Okay, let's see here. Malachite, get ready for personal transformation again. Look at that, full moon. Release what no longer serves you. This, estrangement here, the grieving. You're feeling isolated or whatever. The separation, you need to finish this. You need to let go of this. This is what's stopping you. They're trying to communicate with you. They're telling you, like, there's new beginnings here. You're ready, but you just need to release. Use the full moon to release. Clearly you're a psychic here. Last quarter moon, break bad habits. This might have to do with your thinking. You have some kind of disbelief or anxiety about this. Like, feel you're ready or something. What do you want for under Malachite, Spirit? Yeah, the new moon. There's a lot about the moon for you. You might be working with the moon. Embrace new beginnings. So you have transformation, and then it says transformation on, personal transformation on this, and then it has the new moon, embrace new beginnings, and then new beginnings here. They're trying to get your attention. It's achievement, right? Yeah, because there's an achievement that you've reached here. Believe in miracles. You know, maybe that's what this reading is about to show you, like transformation, transformation, beginnings, new beginnings, new beginnings. Okay. So what do you want here at this full moon? Release what no longer serves you. What do you want for grieving here? Wow. Wow. Think practically. What? Okay. You know, they're pointing out the mountain here. There might be something, you know, that's malachite again. See, that looks like malachite to me on this thing here. You know, they did show me a card, you know, when I was shuffling that said, get out in nature. You know, there's some kind of divine magic here. You know, and this fell over, the transformation fell over. So you might feel like you're going to fail, or something's not going to work out or something. Divine magic, wishes, goals, and dreams, accomplishment. Again, they're talking about like there's an accomplishment. You've accomplished something. Breaking bad habits on the boredom, on the bottom, the boredom. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. You're bored. On the bottom it said, recharge your energy. Three came out for this one. Fox, be discerning. Aventurine, have a positive mindset. And then Panda, slow down. Yeah, I think this might have to do with your thinking. I think you might be like overthinking something. That's why it showed up with about resting. Slow down, have a positive mindset, and be discerning. Yeah, well, it says right here, remove negativity. Black pepper. Elderflower, embrace endings. Embrace your romantic side. Yeah, that's the love that you have to give, to share. You know, look for the beauty in everything. It's copper. Yeah, there's something about these stone people. Okay, is there another card here? Can you clarify what's going on with these stone people here? I just heard the cats. It says, Kendula, listen to your dreams. And work toward your goals. Okay. Listen to your dreams. So they're trying to tell you something in your dreams. You want this? Mother's milk. It's the vet and birds. Okay. Yeah, I think it's the fear. You know, I get the thing, like if you go outside, you know, because like this cat is like sitting in the window looking at these birds. It's almost like you're afraid to leave the safe space that you've created for fear of, you know, maybe attacks. maybe that's where they were talking about the protection. Maybe you feel like you're going to have like negative attacks or something. Rejuvenating rain, clear the past, heal the present. You know, they're bringing up about this grieving. You know, I think you're clinging to it or something. Lie back, rest and relax. Yeah, they're saying that again here. Tread thoughtfully. Passion and pleasure, savor your life. You see how they're dancing under the moon? I think you might be working with the moon. You know, they brought up about like slow down and rest again. Savor your life. You know, notice like this bridge here too, like it's a very narrow bridge and it looks kind of rickety to me. But then they're saying here, like, have confidence. Like, even if you're on like a tightrope or a rickety bridge, you're going to be protected. Well, I was just talking about bridges, love crossing bridges. It's time for healing, connecting, mending, and releasing. They want you to use the moon. Blessings are showering your life. Well, showering, and they're talking about rejuvenating rain. Clear the past, heal the present. Blessings are showering your life. Answer the call. The time is now. See, she's going through the doorway. I think what they're trying to get through to you is, I think they want you to step into a leadership role. But the first step is to actually get out there. Get past something here. There's something about this vet and the birds. Let me see here. The vet, I think it's the fear when it comes to the vet. Found that one. Something's telling me that it's in the back for the vet one, but oh, it is too. Well, see, listen to your intuition. So the message is here, do not panic. Yes, the cat carrier is out, but that doesn't necessarily mean a trip to the vet is on the horizon. Okay, it does. It is. You're going to the vet, but only figuratively speaking. The vet card invites us to examine our anxieties and our knee-jerk responses to uncomfortable situations, especially if those situations are like a vet trip, things we must endure in order to be best serve our own health and happiness. In the vein of that which does not kill us makes us stronger. No one is arguing that you must enjoy these situations. You may be right. The circumstances at hand might legitimately suck, but avoiding them isn't getting you anywhere. And the only way through is through. Once you're on the other side, you can assess whether any unpleasantness can be averted next time, or at least rest in the comfort of knowing you've made it through before and you'll do so again. That's why they were showing me the bridge about the tightrope. Like, even though you might be just this is a road less traveled, is what I heard. So if you are psychic, like they're saying here, that you have psychic abilities, you know, this is not everyone takes this road, but if you do take it, great possibilities are going to be on the way, right? Because, you know, the universe is not going to let you down. That's why they have like protection here, right? They have protection here, and they have, you know, wishes, goals, dreams accomplished, because they did say that you've achieved something, and they're going to make sure that you have peace, but you need to trust them. You know, I notice here that they have rejuvenating brain, clear the past, heal the present. So they're talking about, like, you know, being showered and cleansed, right? And then this card here, it's shower of prosperity, wealth, opportunity, success, and manifestation. Yeah, see, it was in reverse though. So they're saying that where it's in reverse here, it's saying missed opportunities, unmotivated, stubborn, and lack. And they're also bringing up like stubbornness in this card too. So, I don't know. Let's see what this birds one says here. This is not a drill. Birds, it's birds. Are you guys seeing this? If you're not a kitten, maybe calm down. No matter what your inner kitten tells you, this card is not about losing your mind indiscriminately at the sight of potential prey. Yeah, like I said, I think if you're afraid to leave your safe space with concerns about being attacked or something, rather it is meant to extol the virtues of observing circumstances from a safe distance and finding contentment without intervening. The certainty, this, and certainly without destroying. Yes, life is a participation sport, but not all situations require your involvement. Drama is so tempting, but keep your ego in check. There is a tremendous strength in waiting for others to seek your input before you offer it. So that's it. Like, have people seek you. Like, you don't need to, like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't need to, like, put yourself in situations. You can just allow it in a peaceful way to come to you. You know, the people that are meant to be in your energy will come to you. You know what I mean? And then the ones that aren't, you can take them and just observe them from a distance. Okay. So they're going to have me do that later. Okay, so you want a few tarot cards here. What is it that you want here? Page of Swords. Yeah, see the lightning? You know, see another bird too. Yeah, something about the storm, because I see like there's the lightning, the dark clouds. We got the rain here. You know, the Page of Swords, somebody that is, well, they're like a student, so they're really interested in a lot of information. You know, it's funny too, because they showed me the Page of Swords in a different deck too. So, you know, you could be getting like restless. The Six of Wands. And the Seven of Pentacles. You know, with the Six of Wands, you know, this is about leadership again, right? And being victorious in it. For something that you've accomplished, like some kind of accomplishment. I don't know what you've accomplished. I think it's because you've gone through like the ego death. You know, the Seven of Pentacles here is about, like in the regular tarot, it's about, you know, like planting that seed and then waiting for it to grow. In this card, it has a nest of eggs here. So, I mean, you know, taking the time to rest and view how far you've come, review where you were, where you are now, and then release. You know what I mean? Because I think this is on the release. Yeah, release what no longer serves you. This is about reviewing the past. Like waiting for your fruits of labor kind of thing, right? You know, this is encouragement to keep going. Because, you know, just like planting the seed, it takes time. Just like the eggs in the shell, like they have to fertilize, they have to incubate, they have to be at the right temperature. Like, you know, it's a lot about patience, right? The Seven of Pentacles. You know, I see there's these butterflies here too, right? I think you're definitely, if you you have something planned. Yeah, the Emperor. You know, the Emperor's, you know, I mean, is a very strong leader. Again, you get that leadership coming out over and over. And, you know, you get the Aries too, and Aries is ruled by Mars. And Mars is a heavy masculine. And heavy masculine energy has a lot to do with, like, action and logic. Action. Yeah. Yeah, see this little spider here in the corner creating its web. I heard mastermind. So I think that's what it is. You have to master your mind. You have to master your thoughts. Okay, is there another one here? Yeah, breaking the bad habits, mastering your thoughts. You're a natural born leader. And your intuition, your psychic abilities are going to lead you, right? Yeah, look at that, the Ten of Pentacles. Look, with the King of Pentacles, look at that. I mean, look at this big gorilla. King Kong. You know, this is, okay, well, let's just do the Ten of Pentacles first, because the Ten of Pentacles is about, you know, abundance and, like, your spiritual legacy, basically. And, you know, with the King of Pentacles, this is about that you're going to accomplish whatever it is. Like, you're going to, you know, the King of Pentacles is somebody that is, like, wealthy and well-grounded and nurturing. You know, wants to give to others, wants to help others. Yeah, look in the Hermit on the bottom. Just like I said, you've been in Hermit doing a lot of healing, and now it's time to come out. See this little animal? You know, I know it's been tough because, you know, you have this tortoise here. You know, that's a heavy shell to carry around. And, you know, there's something about these stone people, though. They keep showing me the rocks. And then they showed the thing about working with crystals. Maybe that's what you need to do. Find some crystals or something. Work with some crystals. Yeah, see, temperance here is with the angel. This is the healing. You know, you see how this lamb is drinking from the stream, and so is the fox. or the wolf. But then you have the Five of Wands. I think that's what you're worried about. I think you're worried about, because this is the Five of Wands is about like conflict and challenges. But you know, it's also about leveling up. So the Five of Wands, you could be leveling up. Did they mention that already? I think that's what's happened. I think you've leveled up, because they showed me this card twice. So you've done the healing. You have your angels on your side. It's time to come out of the Hermit. You know, you get the Page of Pentacles again, another Pentacle. So, you know, these are like new opportunities. This is about manifesting. Yeah, I think it's because you leveled up. Then you have the King of Swords too. The King of Swords is all about that emotional intelligence and, you know, again, a leader, right? A logical leader. I think this is really heavily male reading here. Okay, so what do you want here? The third house, look at that. And we already got the third house there. It's all about communication. It's too many, Spirit. Is there another card? Waxing crescent moon. Okay. Sure you don't want another one? Mercury. I split it on Libra twice, and then Libra's on the bottom. You know, this has a lot to do with your heart. This is why they want, the time is now. Yeah. And then they want me to read this transformation card here. You know, I just kind of get like, you've come from like a baby bird to this massive energy. I don't want to call you a gorilla, you know what I'm saying? But when you know, you picture a little bird and then you picture a gorilla, right? Okay, so the third house, let's see what they want to say here. Third house. Third house in a reading. Sometimes it can feel as though the universe is conspiring against us. Cards break down. We send the wrong email to our boss. We have disagreements with our loved ones. But rest assured that the delays and daily setbacks you're facing are only temporary. These things can be solved easily with a good mechanic, swallowing your pride or apologizing. Too often we believe that speaking our mind is the most important part of communicating. But there is another piece of that puzzle, listening. Take some time to listen to what the people you love having to say right now. You may get more out of it than you realize. And then the waxing crescent moon. Okay, so waxing crescent moon here. The moon is beginning to show it herself. And beneath the surface, the roots of the seeds you planted are beginning to weave and strengthen in the soil. You know, and I placed it right on the Seven of Pentacles here because, like I said, it's like planting the seeds. And you have to wait for that tree to grow, right? That's like the eggs are incubating, right? Funny, Spirit. Growth can be broken up into two parts. Obstacles, which are negative patterns from the past, And you'll notice that here, like with the Hermit, that's going into that stage. Like I said in the very beginning, it's about releasing the old stuff. I said that in the very beginning of this reading, though, that I thought you were coming out of your shadow. Okay. Which are changes, okay, let's see, which are negative patterns from the past, and actions which are changes made to achieve alignment. Yeah, because they already said, like, you have alignment here because it came out with the card. Where was that? With her on the, with the balance. What this means is that focusing your energy toward what you want to accomplish is a form of self-care. Just resist the urge to overwater your garden. You know, they're bringing out the rain too. That's funny, Spirit, the storm. As you don't want to end up with root rot. Yeah, this is about taking initiative. Yeah, it's time. It's time. That's why it says it's time. Now, Mercury is the messenger. So this is all about birds and feathers and letters and pale blue gems. It's funny. Okay, so if you have been expecting news or communication about an important issue, it is right around the corner. When you receive it, be sure to logically weigh the pros and cons before sending back your answer. Due diligence is key when Mercury is involved. Our brain is an amazing organ. It keeps the rest of our body working. It tells our heart when to beat. It makes sure we eat food and drink water, and it lets us communicate our needs. Mercury in a reading signals that you must make those needs known. Not expressing yourself leads to a buildup of anxiety. You expect other people to read your mind. There is a theory that we are the product of our thoughts. Yeah, I knew it had to do with your thoughts. That we cannot exist without them. But we know that it's true. A person in a vegetative state exists, but they don't have the capacity to reason or think. Thoughts can be a conscious action. Positive ones lead to a positive attitude, and negative ones lead to a negative attitude. So that's what it is. It's the way you're communicating with yourself. There's something that that's why they're like, you know, they're trying to communicate with you. They're trying to get your attention. And that's why it was all about the communication, the third house. It's about yourself. Like, okay, so let's do this transformation one here. What's this? Okay, let me look it up because there's a specific type of dragon this is. This is the Earth Walk Dragon. Okay, so this could be the dragon that is working with you right now or wants to work with you. Okay, a new you is emerging. Yeah, let it all go. Fear, pain, doubt, anger, sorrow, and guilt. Transformation tell us you no longer need these experiences that are in the past. They have completed their task and have no place in your future. By holding on to them, you only keep yourself trapped in old patterns and are no longer of use or necessary to you. A new you is emerging. Maybe a quieter, more considerate you, but certainly a more powerful you. See? Because you got the King of Swords here too. Okay, let's see here. And the Emperor. So you have the Emperor, you have the King of Pentacles, and the King of Swords. Wow. Plus you have Aries and Mars here. Interesting. Okay. Having lived through a great many things, now it is time for you to put that experience to good use. Yeah, just like I was talking about that tortoise. wherever that went. Yeah, the tortoise. It's carrying a lot. You've went through a lot. Let's see here. Follow your inner guidance and let your old habits and worries slip away. There will always be those who question what you do, but that is their journey. You are on yours. Follow the steps laid out before you, trusting your own inner light as you move toward a fresh way of being you. This transformation can be on any level and can affect any or every part of your life. Enjoy it and look out for the signs and, in particular, symbols. Dragons love symbols. As you are guided by the dragon of transformation to take your next steps. Yeah, that's exactly what it was all about. They're trying to get your attention. So the symbols. Okay, this is all I have for you that could explain like all these things. That's why they keep bringing up the birds. It could be like feathers and all these different things that are in nature, like rocks and crystals and all that could be being drawn to you to follow that. Okay, so that's all I have to say. And I think this is all they have for me to deliver. Is this it, Spirit? Yeah, it is. Okay, so I'm going to bid you a good day. I'm going to send you all my love and light. And I hope this video finds you well. Bye, everyone.